Well, I'm not so much singling out our team. I mean, obviously, I would never agree with anything that would have Lamar leaving our team for anybody, to be honest. That's just how much he's meant to us. And so, that being put aside, I just think the overall approach to things in this business is getting a little bit difficult to stomach. I think, because of the salary amounts and how much, basketball players or athletes get paid, oftentimes there's no reason to discuss the other parts that come with, being an athlete. And, to hear where you're going to be living next, or where you and your wife are going to live, or where your kids are going to go to school, or, I talked to Chauncey Billups last night. The way the team handled his situation, it's just disappointing. I think we're all grown men. We recognize that trades and player movement are a part of the business. But I think the teams could do a better job in addressing it, being upfront about it, talking directly to players and letting them know this is what we're thinking about doing. This is something we're working on. We know you may not like it, but we prefer you hear from us as opposed to on the news or a report of some kind from an anonymous source.
Have you heard from Lamar? Have you talked to him?
I've been in touch with him via text. I've continued to let him know, even before last night, how much support he had from me and my family. And regardless of what happened, he'd be a Laker for life in my book, and we'll be friends forever in my book. What more could he do? He's asked to play a different role, or maybe a lesser role than he'd play on another team. And he did that. He did what he was asked to do. The team wins 2 championships, goes to another finals. It's just, so as a basketball player, it confuses you as to what your focus should be. If your focus is about making sacrifices, making less money, playing a lesser role to be a part of a championship team, it doesn't seem like the reward fits anymore. The reward is when something else better comes along, you're going to be traded and pushed out. And that's just not a message that you would want a friend or a teammate to have to experience. But at the same time, we know it's a part of what this business is now.
You can assume something else better is coming along.
I would assume that the trade is not being made just for exercise purposes. But maybe I'm wrong in assuming. Maybe it's just something that the team feels is better in the short or long term. And those are decisions that we have absolutely nothing to do with, but it doesn't mean we have to agree with them.
Yesterday was all about CP3. Today, it's all about Dwight Howard. I mean, what the heck's going on around here? Do you even know? Have you talked to Chris Paul at all?
No. I don't. It's not for me to guess and try and figure out what is actually going on or what the plan is. I'm on the ground level in this thing. Management and ownership, those are decisions for them at the higher levels. But on the ground level, it impacts people. It impacts a player's ability to finish out his career, to play the game that he loves to play. So that's the part that I'm most focused on. I realize I'm not a GM. It's not my job to focus on that part. But for guys like Lamar Odom and Pau Gasol, who have meant as much to this team as anybody else out here, I'm more disappointed and frustrated for them than for myself or anybody else.